Yes guys, welcome back. What should you eat for your pre-workout meal? What should you eat for your post-workout meal when it comes to training? I'm going to go through it in this video. I'm going to go through my post-workout, my pre-workout, also my intra-workouts supplementation as well. And I'm going to take you through a pull session today. So let's dig in. Let's get started. We are currently getting pre-workout meal ready, prepared to eat. So I'll take you through it. I think this angle will work. Yeah, perfect. So, getting pre-workout meal ready first of all. So, we have 160 grams of rice to start off. Okay? I think pre-workout meal should always have a good chunk of carbohydrates in it, because carbs are going to be the main energy source for the body. So, 160 grams of rice, which is quite a lot of carbs going in this pre-workout meal. And I will also have some fruit as well. So I have 150 grams of banana, I have 100 grams of pineapple, and I have 160 grams of rice as carb sources in this meal. And that is a lot of energy readily available then for training. Now, I will have this pretty much like 50 minutes to an hour before I actually start my session. And I think giving it time to actually digest and assimilate is also going to be very important. We have the chicken, we have the bananas. So if it doesn't assimilate and digest, let me pull this up a little bit more. So if it doesn't assimilate and digest, well then, it's not going to be utilised for the actual workout. So giving it enough time to actually be absorbed, digest, utilised, it's going to be very important, rather than trying to have a meal and literally go into train straight away, or having your pre-workout meal literally on the way to the gym. So try space it out, try and have it a good bit of time before, just to give it that bit of time to digest and be utilised. We have proteins. This camera follows you around, it's great. And then we don't have any fats in this meal. So basically, rice, bananas, pineapple as our carb source, chicken as our protein source. For me, that digests absolutely perfectly, doesn't sit on my stomach, and it allows me to have a very, very high quality session, which ultimately is the most important thing that we want from a pre-workout meal. Now, why rice? Why chicken? Why fruits? Like, why not pasta? Why not, other carb sources or protein sources? And simply because I love rice, I love chicken, I love pineapple, I love banana. So they're foods that I enjoy, they're carb sources and protein sources that I enjoy, which is why I have them in. So if I have protein and carb sources in this meal that I actually don't enjoy, why would I want to eat them? Why would I enjoy it? Why would they digest well before a session? So something that you enjoy, something that assimilates and digests well, and something that doesn't sit in your stomach. They're my top tips for a pre-workout meal. We have the rice, the chicken, and then we have some seasoning, some mustard on that as well. Then we have the pineapple, 100 grams, and then we have banana, 150 grams. So that is the game plan for this meal. So pre-workout meal, about 50 minutes to an hour before I train. We have our protein, our carbs. There we go. And then obviously our peppers and our mustard, which is key. Another thing you could look at from a pre-workout meal, if you are eating your pre-workout meal and you felt like the energy wasn't being sustained through your workout and you were burning through the carbs pretty fast during your session, you can even bring in a little bit of fat pre-workout as well. So some dark chocolate, some almond butter, some peanut butter, etc., some avocado. And this would definitely help just slow the absorption of the carbs down a little bit, just for kind of more sustained energy through the session. So that's something you could do as well, a small amount of fats. Dark chocolate will also have some properties for kind of promoting blood flow, etc., and better pumps, etc. too. So that is sometimes a good fat source to bring in pre-workout. Looking at pre-workout supplementation to aid performance. So, pull today. I will have no stimulant pre-workout. So for my caffeine, I will simply have coffee. So these are the ones I get. Let me show you them. Get them ones at Aldi. So Colombian coffee capsules. So I have 2 of them. Put them in espresso. Have 2 of them, and they go in my little cup. And then I have a pump product. So you will know that I use Mega Pump. Conte's Mega Pump. Mark 10 will get you 10% off on the site. So shameless plug. But I have been using this for years. So if you know me, you've seen me been using this for years. This is peach flavor. So I have 15 grams of that. So yeah, one serving is 16 grams. So I have 15 grams, and that will give me a crazy pump. So the combination of the Mega Pump alongside my coffee will be perfect. But then for leg days, I will use a stimulant such as like Conviction, etc. But for push and pull days, Mega Pump alongside the coffee is perfect. And that's, as you'll see, I haven't actually drank that yet. That will go in on the way to the gym, kind of like 20 minutes away, because then it actually gives it time to get into your system and actually gives kind of caffeine as well and the pump time to actually kick in. So then when you start training, it's kicked in perfectly. Now in terms of my intra-workout supplementation, so we have my carbs and then my essential aminos. So my essential aminos, so I use Essential Gains by Conte. So my essential aminos, that is obviously going to help spike protein synthesis and start the recovery process during your session, basically. Carb Drive is going to be a carb powder. So this is going to give me more sustained energy throughout my session by driving carbs into the muscle when they're needed the most. So obviously this is a very, very simple form of carbohydrate. So this will be absorbed very, very fast. So literally as I'm breaking down tissue and as my muscles are being replenished of glycogen, I am putting carbs back in and replenishing them and almost like aiding the recovery process straight away. So that is the purpose obviously of the essentials of the Carb Drive as well. And that is, I'm gonna, for me, 50 grams of Carb Drive in this. We have 25 grams of the essential aminos. And with the carbs, not everyone is going to have carbs. Like for a lot of my clients, a lot of them don't have carbs just because, you know, if their food is super low or if they feel like their training doesn't warrant having carbs in there, it's just person dependent. But if your food is high, if your training is hard, it definitely is a nice addition to aid your training. And also, it's going to be super easy calories to get in as well. So that is Intra. We have it made up and ready to go. And that'll be sipped on during my session. So I'll start sipping on that literally straight away, and I'll have that gone by like the second last exercise, so that it's utilized, it's digested before I even go into my post-workout meal then. I've actually also been doing 200 ml of coconut water with my intra-workout as well. It's fantastic for hydration. Do you need to be using it? No, but it's just an addition that I have brought in recently. So I'm actually just waiting on Cuba to come collect me, because obviously I can't drive. Gem's in Manchester today. We're a client doing a shoot, so I can't wait until I can drive again. So Cuba collect me. We are in to try and pull. I'm actually 2 days away from Vegas for the Olympia. So second last session, legs tomorrow, and then deload. So we have to make this a good one. Yes, gang, so back in with some good tugging for this session. I actually got a new camera, but I still didn't trust myself to actually record and use the mic after the mishap I had with it last time. So we'll go with a voiceover today, and I will get this camera working and hopefully run you through a session in vlog style next time. But with pull days, I always start off with assisted pull-ups. Not even working sets, not even taking it completely to failure, but just 1 or 2 sets. I just really try and open up as much as I can, and then really try and kind of pull through that upper back and lats and just contract hard. Just basically just getting some blood in there. I feel like it really mobilizes my shoulders, if you want to call it that.
and just really allows my back to fully open and close and really get myself set up then for actually going into the bulk of the session. So yeah, I started doing this a while ago and I've kept it in. I'm a big fan. Then starting off the session with actual working sets of single arm cable row. So here, what I'm looking to do is using the opposite hand to brace against the bench. Now I'm using that to like push against the bench to really keep myself locked in. I'm trying to keep my body like upright. So I'm trying not to lean forward. I'm trying not to lean back. I'm thinking about like reaching away from me. You will see my lat opening. I'm reaching away. I'm not leaning forward, but my lat is fully stretching. And then as I pull, I'm not letting myself rock back and cheat. I'm really trying to force myself to stay upright and then drive that elbow down into the hip. That's why I have the cable a little bit higher than just in front of me as well. Like it's not directly in front, it's actually slightly above. So I'm actually kind of I'm reaching out and up a little bit and then I'm dragging down. So you will see, as difficult as it gets at the end, I just don't let myself lean back or rock around. I'm trying to keep that locked. And I feel like when I rock around, I can get more reps, yeah, but I don't feel like I get any more off my back. So I'm trying to kind of keep myself upright and not twisting and just pinning that elbow down. And look, I just feel like I can really get a lot of lat. Like my lat is on fire after this. Then into single arm lat pull down. So here, just get myself into position, first of all, just to make sure that I'm locked in and I can really be powerful through these. So again, the same kind of cue with this. I'm trying to kind of keep that torso where it is, so nothing really moves here, apart from like my arm reaching away and my lat opening. So I like to have a little bit of a pause here in the stretch as well. Really feel a connection, and then as I get to that, like that stretch, then aggressive down, like hard now, contract and open back up. So again, that position doesn't really move. And again, like I have to realize, even though like I'm a big advocate of good execution, like the ultimately intensity and what you put into the set is what matters. So yes, I'm very locked in every rep and execution is good, but you better believe that the intent of each rep is like, I'm aggressive, I'm powerful, I'm not just going super slow for the sake of it. I'm still trying to take that muscle all the way there. But yeah, this single arm lat pull down, it's beautiful. Now, after two kind of lat focus movements, if you want to call it that, then we moved on to some upper back. So it was actually 2 sets of the single arm row, 3 sets of the pull downs, and then onto the T-bar row. So you will see this is really upper back focused. So when I'm in this, I want to try and, like you'll see, I'm reaching away from myself. I'm not leaning forward. I'm keeping the chest tall, but I'm letting the shoulders travel forward so the upper back really fucking opens in that stretch. And as I roll back, I'm thinking about pulling through shoulder blades. Imagine pinching my spine together, but not leaning back as well. So I'm trying to like drive the elbow and shoulder blades back while keeping my chest like forward, just to really make it harder for myself. And I'm finishing off with a couple of shrugs just to really finish off the upper back and rhomboid. So first kind of upper back movement, then onto the second upper back movement of this session. So prime row. So with this, I used to always struggle with this, but I think I found a good position with it. And I used to be lifting weight too heavy. So now you will see that I can really get them shoulders back a little bit more. I think I can get them a bit further back, to be honest with you. So I want to try and keep my hips back a little bit here. If I push my hips all the way in, it forces me to lean back and rock back. Whereas, see, I'm even rocking back there, but when I have my hips back a little bit, it forces me to not lean back and then really force my back to actually pull. So there's something I like to think of in this as well, just so I'm not fucking cheating it. Now, upper back pull down. So this is actually an upper back pull down. People will look at this as a lat pull down, but you will see I'm like leaning back a little bit. So I'm leaning back, and as I come into the stretch, again, I'm just trying to fucking open up the upper back as much as I possibly can. Like, I want my arms to feel like they're going to rip off here because it's pulling me into the stretch. So I always emphasize a little bit of a hold at the top here, just to really make, like, just really feel that back open and stretch. And then from that position, then I aggressively pull through hard. So this is an upper back pull down. It was 2 sets of the T-bar. It was 2 sets of the prime row. And then it was 2 sets to finish off on this upper back pull down as well. So that is the bulk of the back session, and obviously hit from all angles here. Lats, upper back, pull downs, finished. Onto rear delts then, after back. So with rear delts, I love this cable variation. Obviously with the Cybex cables, we have the chest pad, which comes in handy because you can just brace against it and generate a bit more power. So I will always have the cables a little bit higher, so I'm not pulling directly out from in front of me. I'm almost pulling like from up to down. See my arms like traveling like downwards at like an angle. That's because obviously the rear delts kind of, the fibers move in that direction. So I'm not just coming directly back, I'm coming like back and down. And that's like I'm holding it for 1 second in the pause and then reaching out in front of me and letting the shoulders come forward. And that is my rear delts being nailed here. So yeah, we have 3 sets here. I like anywhere from like 10 to 15 reps with rear delts. Well, yeah. And then we moved on to biceps after this. With biceps, I actually only recorded 1 exercise, so just standing cable curls. And then after this, we done facing away cable curls, single arm. So with facing away, it's really kind of challenging the stretch. So like it's really hard in the stretch. This is really hard in the squeeze. So again, with this, nothing crazy heavy. I'm just aiming like how hard can I make them? Like every rep, I'm trying to like, I wanted to feel like there's knives going through my biceps. So you will see like every rep, it's like a hard squeeze, hard stretch. And even in the stretch, like that tension is still on here. And then I'm pulling back through the biceps. I'm not just pulling through shoulders or just pulling for the sake of it. I used to do it and I just feel like I got nothing from it. So just really trying to pull through bicep and make them fucking hard. But that is the bulk of this pull session. The only thing, like I said, was the second bicep movement I didn't film. But that is it.
So when it comes to my post-workout nutrition, first and foremost, we have my whey. So I actually put my whey in this little tub because I make it into paste after my session, and then I put it on my cream of rice. So whey, I put it into that little tub. So that's that done. 50 grams, cookies and cream flavor. So that's that, lads. So 50 grams of whey. So we have our protein source. With post-workout, I don't like to have a fat source in here because, again, I want to replenish that glycogen and have the carbs and protein do their job without the digestion or the absorption of that being slowed down. So I tend to stay away from fats post-workout because, again, the fats are going to slow down the digestion of them carbs slightly, and I don't want that. I want them literally into that muscle as fast as I possibly can. So we have, as our carb source, 160 grams of cream of rice, 150 grams of berries, and 10 grams of raisins. So there she is. That is beautiful. So I actually put that in the fridge this morning. Maybe this morning, I put it in the fridge, so it's actually cold. I like cold cream of rice. Sometimes I like it hot, but post-workout, I like it cold. Post-workout meal game plan. Obviously, as you see, there's a high amount of carbs peri-workout. So pre-workout, post-workout, and intra-workout as well. Because that's the time where your body's actually going to really utilize and need them carbs the most. Hence why, you know, there's so many kind of in and around that workout window, and then the rest are kind of spread throughout the day. So that is pre, post, that is intra, that is pre-workout supplementation also. But yeah, this is the post-workout meal. I'll show you. Yes, that's obviously the way, which, like I said, I'll have that later. And then there is that vessel of cream of rice. So also glass Tupperware. Glass Tupperware is the one.